10. Essential laws. Every Canadian senior must know. Did you know that over 2.3 million Canadian seniors are unknowingly missing out on benefits they're legally entitled to? While government policies change rapidly, many older adults remain in the dark about new laws that could dramatically improve their financial security and quality of life. What if I told you that some of these recent changes could put thousands of dollars back in your pocket or protect you from devastating scams targeting your age group? Welcome back to our channel where we keep you informed about the changes that matter most to your daily life. Today, we're diving into 10 crucial new laws that every Canadian senior needs to understand immediately. These aren't just bureaucratic updates. These are game-changing regulations that could affect your retirement savings, healthcare access, and overall well-being. Before we begin, hit that like button and subscribe for more essential updates that protect your interests. Number 10. Enhanced Elder Abuse Protection Act. This groundbreaking legislation has quietly revolutionized how Canada protects its most vulnerable citizens from financial exploitation. Here's something that might shock you. Elder financial abuse costs Canadian seniors over $1.2 billion annually, with the average victim losing nearly $30,000. The new law creates mandatory reporting systems for financial institutions, requiring bank employees to flag suspicious transactions involving seniors. But here's what makes this law particularly powerful. It establishes a 72-hour cooling-off period for large financial transactions by seniors, giving families and authorities time to investigate potential fraud. The legislation also creates specialized elder abuse courts with judges trained specifically in recognizing manipulation tactics used against older adults. What's truly revolutionary is the law's approach to digital scams, requiring internet service providers to implement automatic warnings when seniors visit known fraudulent websites. This protection extends to phone scams, too, with telecommunications companies now required to block calls from numbers associated with senior targeting fraud. The emotional impact cannot be overstated, as this law addresses the devastating shame and isolation that abuse victims often experience. Many seniors previously suffered in silence, but now there are clear legal pathways for recovery and justice. The law also protects whistleblowers, meaning family members or caregivers who report suspected abuse receive legal immunity. But there's more to this story that directly affects how you should handle your finances moving forward. Number 9. Mandatory Pension Inflation Adjustment Reform. While most Canadians know about basic pension indexing, this new law goes far beyond traditional cost of living adjustments to address the unique financial pressures facing today's seniors. The legislation recognizes that seniors face different inflation rates than the general population, particularly in healthcare, housing, and essential services. Under the new system, pension adjustments will be calculated using a senior-specific consumer price index that tracks the actual spending patterns of older adults. This means your Canada Pension Plan and old age security payments will more accurately reflect the real costs you're facing. The law also introduces retroactive adjustments, meaning if you've been underpaid due to calculation errors in previous years, you'll receive lump sum corrections. Perhaps most significantly, the law establishes a minimum annual increase guarantee, ensuring your pension never loses purchasing power even during periods of economic uncertainty. The legislation also addresses the unique situation of seniors who rely heavily on prescription medications, incorporating pharmaceutical cost increases into pension calculations. For couples, the law introduces spousal protection measures, ensuring that surviving partners maintain adequate income levels after losing a spouse's pension benefits. The law recognizes that housing costs disproportionately affect seniors, with many spending over 40% of their income on accommodation. This creates a separate housing adjustment factor in pension calculations, providing additional support for seniors facing rising property taxes and utility costs. But the most surprising aspect of this law might be how it handles emergency situations and economic crises. Number 8. Digital Rights and Privacy Protection for Seniors Act. In an era where technology moves faster than many seniors can adapt, this law creates unprecedented protections for older adults navigating the digital world. The legislation recognizes that seniors are disproportionately targeted by online scams and face unique challenges in protecting their personal information. Under this new law, companies providing digital services to seniors must offer simplified privacy settings with clear, jargon-free explanations of how personal data is used. The law mandates that any service primarily used by seniors must provide human customer support, ending the frustrating maze of automated systems that often trap older users. Perhaps most importantly, the law creates a right to digital assistance, requiring banks, government agencies, and essential service providers to offer in-person help for online transactions. The legislation also addresses the growing problem of age discrimination in digital services, making it illegal for companies to deny or limit services based on a person's age or technological proficiency. For seniors who prefer traditional communication methods, the law guarantees the right to access all services through phone or mail, preventing forced digitization of essential services. The law also creates new protections against tech support scams, requiring legitimate computer repair services to be licensed and imposing severe penalties on fraudulent operations. Social media platforms now face specific obligations when serving seniors, including enhanced verification processes for friend requests and stricter controls on targeted advertising. The legislation recognizes that many seniors share devices with family members or caregivers, creating new protections for shared account security and privacy. But perhaps the most forward-thinking aspect of this law addresses emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and how they interact with senior users. Number 7. Healthcare Access and Navigation Support Law. This comprehensive legislation addresses the maze-like complexity of Canada's healthcare system and the unique challenges seniors face in accessing care. The law recognizes that seniors often need to coordinate multiple specialists, manage complex medication regimens, and navigate insurance coverage while dealing with age-related cognitive changes. Under the new system, every Canadian over 65 receives access to a dedicated healthcare navigator, a trained professional who helps coordinate appointments, explain treatment options, and ensure continuity of care. The law also establishes maximum wait times specifically for seniors, recognizing that delayed treatment can have more severe consequences for older adults. Perhaps most significantly, the legislation creates a comprehensive medication management system, with pharmacists required to conduct regular reviews of all prescriptions to prevent dangerous drug interactions. The law addresses the growing problem of medical ageism by requiring healthcare providers to receive specific training on age-related conditions and communication techniques. For seniors living in rural areas, the law mandates telemedicine options with technical support, ensuring geographic location doesn't limit access to specialized care. The legislation also creates new protections for seniors in emergency situations, requiring hospitals to have geriatric-trained staff available 24/7 and establishing protocols for communicating with families during medical crises. Mental health receives special attention, with the law recognizing that depression and anxiety often down-diagnosed in seniors and requiring routine screening during all medical appointments. The law also addresses the unique needs of senior caregivers, many of whom are caring for spouses while managing their own health challenges. But there's a surprising provision in this law that could change how you think about aging in place versus assisted living options. Number 6. Housing Security and Anti-Displacement Protection Act. As housing costs skyrocket across Canada, this law creates unprecedented protections for seniors facing the threat of displacement from their long-term homes. The legislation recognizes that housing stability is crucial for senior health and well-being, and that forced relocation can have devastating physical and emotional consequences. Under the new law, seniors over 65 receive enhanced protection against eviction, with landlords required to provide 6 months' notice and demonstrate genuine need for property use. The law also creates a seniors' housing fund, providing emergency assistance for older adults facing sudden rent increases or property sales. Perhaps most importantly, the legislation establishes a right to age in place, requiring municipalities to ensure adequate support services are available for seniors who wish to remain in their homes. The law addresses the growing problem of renovictions, where landlords evict seniors under the guise of renovations by requiring proof of genuine renovation needs and guaranteeing the right to return at the same rent. For seniors who own their homes, the law creates new protections against property tax increases that could force them to sell, including deferral programs and hardship exemptions. The legislation also addresses the unique vulnerability of senior women, who are more likely to face housing insecurity due to lower lifetime earnings and longer life expectancy. Mobile home parks receive special attention, with the law preventing sudden closure or rent increases that could displace entire communities of seniors. The law recognizes that many seniors prefer to live independently but need minor modifications to their homes, creating grants for accessibility improvements and safety upgrades. But the most controversial aspect of this law deals with inheritance protection and how adult children's financial problems can threaten their parents' housing security. Number 5. Employment Rights and Age Discrimination Prevention Law. While many assume retirement is inevitable at 65, this groundbreaking legislation recognizes that many seniors want or need to continue working and face systematic discrimination in the workplace. The law creates the strongest age discrimination protections in Canadian history, with severe penalties for employers who make hiring or promotion decisions based on age assumptions. Under the new system, employers must demonstrate legitimate job requirements and cannot use age as a proxy for assumed limitations. The law also addresses the growing gig economy, ensuring that seniors participating in ride-sharing, delivery services, or freelance work receive the same protections as traditional employees. Perhaps most significantly, the legislation creates flexible work arrangements specifically designed for seniors, including graduated retirement options that allow older workers to reduce hours while maintaining benefits. The law recognizes that many seniors face unique challenges in job searching, particularly related to technology requirements and updated skill demands, creating publicly funded retraining programs specifically designed for older workers. For seniors who choose to start their own businesses, the law provides access to specialized funding and mentorship programs that address the unique challenges of senior entrepreneurs. The legislation also addresses pension clawbacks that discourage seniors from working, creating more flexible rules that allow older adults to earn additional income without penalty. Healthcare benefits receive special attention, with the law requiring employers to provide equivalent coverage for older workers and prohibiting discriminatory insurance practices. The law also creates protections for senior whistleblowers, recognizing that older workers often have institutional knowledge about workplace safety violations or fraud, but may be reluctant to report due to age-related job insecurity. But perhaps the most surprising provision addresses how artificial intelligence and automated hiring systems discriminate against seniors. Number 4. Financial Institution Accountability and Senior Protection Act. This law represents the most significant overhaul of banking regulations affecting seniors in decades, addressing the complex financial challenges older adults face in an increasingly digital world. The legislation recognizes that seniors often have substantial assets but may be vulnerable to financial exploitation or confused by rapidly changing banking technologies. Under the new law, financial institutions must provide specialized senior services, including dedicated phone lines with human representatives and simplified account statements that clearly explain all fees and charges. The law also creates new protections against financial abuse by family members or caregivers, requiring banks to implement monitoring systems that flag unusual account activity and providing safe deposit box protections. Perhaps most importantly, the legislation addresses the growing problem of banking, while fees that disproportionately affect seniors on fixed incomes, capping certain charges and requiring clear disclosure of all costs. mandates that banks provide in-person services for essential transactions, preventing the complete digitization of banking that can exclude older adults. For seniors managing investments, the law creates enhanced protections against unsuitable financial products, requiring advisors to demonstrate that recommendations are in the client's best interest rather than generating the highest commissions. The legislation addresses the unique needs of seniors with cognitive decline, creating legal frameworks for trusted family members to assist with banking while protecting against abuse. International money transfers receive special attention, as seniors are often targeted by romance scams and other international fraud schemes, with banks now required to provide additional verification for overseas transactions. The law also creates new dispute resolution mechanisms specifically designed for seniors, recognizing that traditional complaint processes can be overwhelming for older adults. But the most groundbreaking aspect of this law addresses cryptocurrency and digital payments, areas where seniors are particularly vulnerable to fraud. Number 3. Healthcare decision-making and advanced directive reform. This comprehensive legislation revolutionizes how seniors can plan for future medical care and ensures their wishes are respected even when they cannot advocate for themselves. The law recognizes that traditional advance directives often fail to address the complex medical situations seniors face and creates more nuanced, flexible planning tools. Under the new system, seniors can create detailed healthcare preferences that address specific scenarios, from minor procedures to end-of-life care, with legal mechanisms to ensure these wishes are followed. The law also addresses the growing complexity of family dynamics, creating clear hierarchies for medical decision-making and preventing conflicts between estranged family members or multiple marriages. Perhaps most significantly, the legislation creates professional healthcare advocates who can represent seniors' interests when family members are unavailable or conflicted. The law also addresses the unique challenges of dementia and cognitive decline, allowing seniors to designate trusted individuals to make decisions while establishing safeguards against abuse. For seniors living alone, the law creates community-based support systems that ensure someone is monitoring their well-being and can intervene in medical emergencies. The legislation addresses religious and cultural considerations in medical care, ensuring that seniors' spiritual beliefs are respected in treatment decisions. Mental health receives special attention, with the law creating protocols for addressing depression, anxiety, and other conditions that can affect decision-making capacity. The law also addresses the growing trend of medical tourism, creating protections for seniors who seek treatment abroad and ensuring continuity of care when they return to Canada. But perhaps the most controversial provision deals with medical assistance in dying and how the law balances individual autonomy with protection against coercion. Number 2. Technology access and digital inclusion mandate. As Canadian society becomes increasingly digital, this law ensures that seniors are not left behind in accessing essential services, maintaining social connections, and participating fully in modern life. The legislation recognizes that digital exclusion can lead to social isolation, reduced access to services, and increased vulnerability to fraud. Under the new law, all levels of government must ensure that essential services remain accessible through non-digital means, while simultaneously providing comprehensive digital literacy support for seniors who wish to learn. The law creates publicly funded technology training centers specifically designed for older adults, with patient instructors who understand the unique learning needs and concerns of senior students. Perhaps most importantly, the legislation addresses the digital divide by ensuring affordable internet access for low-income seniors and providing subsidized devices for those who cannot afford smartphones or computers. The law also mandates that technology companies design senior-friendly interfaces with larger text, simplified navigation, and clear privacy controls that seniors can easily understand and manage. For seniors in rural areas, the law guarantees internet infrastructure improvements and satellite internet subsidies to ensure geographic location doesn't determine digital access. The legislation addresses online safety concerns that disproportionately affect seniors, requiring social media platforms and websites to implement enhanced security measures and scam detection systems. Banking and healthcare technologies receive special attention, with the law requiring these essential services to maintain human support options and provide comprehensive training for seniors transitioning to digital platforms. The law also creates legal protections against age discrimination in technology access, preventing companies from limiting services based on assumptions about senior capabilities. But the most forward-thinking aspect of this law addresses emerging technologies like smart home systems and how they can enhance senior safety while protecting privacy. Number 1. Comprehensive Retirement Security and Pension Enhancement Act. This landmark legislation represents the most significant retirement security reform in Canadian history, addressing the growing retirement income crisis that threatens the financial security of current and future seniors. The law recognizes that traditional pension systems were designed for a different era and need fundamental updates to address longer lifespans, changing work patterns, and economic uncertainty. Under the new system, all Canadians receive enhanced retirement benefits through an expanded Canada Pension Plan that provides higher replacement income and better survivor benefits. The law also creates portable pension benefits that follow workers throughout their careers, addressing the growing gig economy and frequent job. The law addresses gender inequities in retirement savings, providing enhanced benefits for women who took time off work for caregiving and creating shared pension credits for married couples. For seniors who continue working past traditional retirement age, the law creates incentives that increase pension benefits rather than creating penalties or clawbacks. The legislation also addresses the housing crisis by allowing seniors to use pension funds for housing security, including reverse mortgage protections and home modification loans. Healthcare costs receive special attention, with the law creating a comprehensive senior healthcare benefit that covers prescription drugs, dental care, and vision care. The law recognizes that many seniors support adult children or grandchildren financially, creating family caregiver benefits that acknowledge this important social contribution. International agreements receive updates to ensure that Canadian seniors living abroad maintain their benefits and that immigrants to Canada can build adequate retirement security. But perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of this law is how it addresses climate change and ensures that retirement security remains viable as environmental challenges reshape the Canadian economy. These 10 new laws represent a fundamental shift in how Canada supports and protects its senior citizens. From enhanced elder abuse protection to comprehensive retirement security reform, these changes acknowledge the unique challenges facing older adults in the 21st century. What's clear is that staying informed about these legal changes isn't just helpful. It's essential for protecting your rights and maximizing your benefits. If you found this information valuable, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on laws and policies that affect your daily life. Click the bell icon to get notified when we release our next video covering provincial variations in these federal laws and how they might affect you differently, depending on where you live in Canada.